So that's when I decided to do something different. And I broke a Guinness record for reciting the mathematical formula pi. Can you remember pi from school? That number that we all drop like a hot brick the moment we leave our last maths lesson. Let's see how far you get. Starts with a 3, then a point. What's the first number? 1? 4? There's more than 10 of you. Take a number each, work as a team. 14159. Those are the first 5 places of pi. On the 1st of May 1998, I broke a Guinness record for reciting pi to 22,500 digits.
Now, you're probably wondering why I played a video of me speaking at Wembley, which is like 10 years ago now. And the reason is because that is my motivation for getting the horse back, or getting back on the horse. Because the truth is that I am now in a place where I'm doing this video, and it's a video I never wanted to do because I put some weight back on. In fact, I put a lot of weight back on. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title on, I put back on 20 pounds in body weight. And, you know, I just didn't want to do this video. I'm not going to lie. But the truth is that I promised I would keep, you know, this channel is all about being real. It's about the ups and the downs. It's about, you know, the challenges that come along. And so that's why I'm doing the video. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to share with you what's happened, why I've come, you know, gone back and putting 50% of my weight back on, why I've managed to turn it around and start losing weight again, and what it is I'm going to do moving forward from a point of diet, exercise, and obviously, you know, daily routines. So the thing is, I'm back to 114 kilos, which is 250 pounds. So I started out about 275 pounds at May last year, and I lost 35 pounds in 10 weeks. I thought I was a weight loss god. Come on. And the reason why it's so interesting is because when I'd lost weight before, I'd lost weight around about ½ a pound a day. I'd, like, you know, head down, arse up, and absolutely fucking pushed it as hard as I could, and I lost the weight. And I'm thinking, 57, can I do that again? Well, apparently I could. So I'd done really well, and I got 35 pounds in 10 weeks, took my foot off the gas a little bit. I lost another 5 pounds, got myself up to 40, and I'm feeling pretty good. Did drift a bit in the last couple of months of last year. Then all of a sudden, I turned round and I hit Christmas. And it was devastating, because I've trained a lot on Christmas Day, many times actually. I just kind of like it. I don't know why. It's a good start to the day. I know I'm going to eat a load of shit, you know, so why not? And we had a load of people coming around for Christmas lunch about 3 o'clock, actually, in the mid-afternoon. So we've done all the prep, and I thought, let's give it a go. And so I went out and trained, and honestly, I felt great. I'd had a pretty good year, 40 pounds down, and I was ready for really smashing it this year. And literally, the moment they left, which is about 6 p.m, I just sat there and I felt ill. And I just got the lurgy, got flu-like symptoms, and I just sat there for 4 weeks on the sofa and did not move unless I was going to the toilet or the piggy cupboard. And I just ate shit. And it just, yeah, somehow I couldn't stop myself. And I was doing zero exercise. I was feeling sorry for myself, and it was horrendous. Although there was one benefit, and that was that all the aches and pains from training disappeared, which is really weird. So the only good thing about it was that I've had a bad back, an SI joint. I've had 1 or 2 issues, lower back, 1 or 2 issues with shoulders, but particularly my back, I've been worried that it's in my hip and I need a hip replacement because it's felt lower back, but also in my hip. Anyway, 4 weeks of doing fuck all training, and it just disappeared, all of it. So that kind of was the only good thing. I knew that when I eventually came out the other side, I started training again, that I would probably be okay, and that actually I've not got a long-term issue with my hip, because I don't. Who would elect to go and have a hip replacement, if, you know, otherwise? So, you know, I came out at the end of January, like 4 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago, and I was absolutely devastated. Because the thing is, it just brought back all the bad memories about my history. So I'll give you a quick rundown. So that was me in February 2011. At that stage, I'm nearly 280 pounds, which is whatever that is, 125 kilos, near enough, 126 kilos. I'm enormous. Not been training for 10 years. I'm 43 years old. So I go on a harsh diet, lose half a pound a day, training every single day, smashing it out, and I look all right. I mean, I'm not mega lean, but I'm 70 pounds lighter, 32-inch waist. I don't carry a lot of muscle, but I'm there or thereabouts. Then, over the following 3 to 4 years, I put 50% of it back on, and just obviously absolutely fucking devastated with it all again. But then I decided, you know what I'd really love to do is enter a bodybuilding competition. So I get myself a bodybuilding coach, and I end up looking like this. Now this was again losing another 70 pounds. So by now I'm nearly 100 pounds lighter than I was here. So that is 275, 280. That's 175, and I'm looking great. And losing that extra 20, 30 pounds makes all the difference, as long as you've been training hard and doing the muscle, doing the training underneath. And, you know, I'm in pretty good nick. I mean, I'm looking lean there. The muscles, I've got good definition. I've even got striations across my chest and down my shoulders. The veins are popping. So I'm in great shape. And then a couple of weeks after this, I enter a bodybuilding competition. And I'm on stage. Wearing nothing but pretty small underpants. Very slim undercrackers. Velvet, obviously, being me. And wearing about 4 gallons of gravy. All that fake tan. And then it all went tits up. And between 2019 and 2025, that's where I ended up again last May. And yeah, it's absolutely friggin' horrendous. And so last May I decided to go on a diet, and I started losing the weight reasonably well. And then what I decided to do was start a school community. So if you've not heard of School, it's a fantastic platform where people come together, share their experience, support each other. And you can do anything on there. It can be any hobbies or pastimes or anything that you're interested in. Well, I started one called Lose 50 Over 50. If you're over 50 in age, you want to lose 50 pounds, this is a place to come. So if you're interested, come through. It's free. It's a private community. I keep it like that because it's not, we have some pretty deep conversations, and it's not for everybody. But coming back to the weight that I was, which is like 272 pounds, 273 pounds in that second image that I just showed you. Again, it was absolutely devastating. And the problem is, what it does is it affects my belief system. Because, you know, over the years, I've always believed that I was able to kind of drive things forward and make things happen. And my extreme personality has both helped and hurt me over the years. So I've had an amazing success in terms of becoming a world-class memory guy. I broke a Guinness record, as you heard off the video at the beginning. I've had a Sunday Times number one bestselling book. 1 million people have read the books. I've spoken all around the world. It's been incredible. But it's also hurt me on the other side. In my 20s, alcohol was my drug of choice. I was drinking too much. I was partying really hard. Like, if I could get into a nightclub 4 nights a week, I would. And leave at 2 in the morning and find a house party and all the rest of it. And then as I got older, you know, it's had a negative impact on relationships. And then when I settled down, my drug of choice became food. And in my 30s, I ate too much. By the time I got to 43, I'm up at 270 pounds. And so the thing is, last year, I've had years and years and years of being overweight. And then, you know, even though I was in really good shape in 2019, the last 4 or 5 years have been absolutely friggin' awful. And then I just thought I cracked it last year. I did. I thought I got myself, you know, back on track. And, you know, I thought I was the bodybuilding phoenix. A ginger phoenix rising from the flames. And it was just so painful then, you know, when I got ill. Because the other side of it is that even though I've had like 3 or 4 weeks now where basically the you know, whatever I had is gone, the what's been left behind initially was a lack of stamina, lack of strength, lack of fitness. So, you know, I've been going in and trying to drag all this thing back on track, mainly through training, because training drags my diet along. But you know what? I couldn't train. I couldn't train properly. I was going in, I was absolutely fucked. I couldn't get through a proper workout. And it's been probably 10 days now, a week, when I've been able to go in and smash it as hard at the end of the end of the training session as I can at the beginning. And, you know, if I don't train, I don't eat well. And that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Because because you know, if I'm not training, then I'm not burning the calories and building the muscle. And on top of that, I eat more shit. So I'm getting like double bubble in terms of, you know, getting punched in the face with not being able to exercise, punched in the face with not eating well. But the two always come together. So if I can get my training back on track, happy days, because the diet will get sucked along in the updraft. And it's really only been about a week or 10 days. But then when the Wembley gig came along, and 8 weeks today, I'm going to be back on stage at Wembley in front of a big crowd, the Great Hall, doing a talk. I'm getting myself filmed, and I want to look the absolute bollocks. Because for me, you know, I mean, the video footage I showed you at the beginning was me filmed 10 years ago at Wembley, and I've been using that for all kinds of stuff, on presentation, skills coaching, for my LinkedIn, for for promotional stuff. And so the thing is, I'm ready for some new filming, to be honest. 8 weeks today, I'm going to get myself filmed again properly, and that is then going to be the piece of footage I do moving forward. Because the one thing I hate is when people, well, I say people, I'm talking about fucking speakers, use old shit. I can remember once I went to see a good speaker friend of mine. I went for a meal, and I'd seen a photograph of her online, and it had been photoshopped. This is back in the day. And it just looked really, really kind of fuzzy and almost hazy, and it just didn't really look like her. So I went to see her. I walked through the door, and she had this picture like this big on a wall. And I went, what's in there? I went, who's that on the wall? And she went, you cheeky bastard. That's exactly what she said. And yeah, I am a bit of a cheeky twat. So, but the thing is, I don't like that. And when I the other week I did a talk, and I had some photographs taken 10 years ago, and they cost me like over £1,000 for like 50 photographs. But they're gorgeous, and I had one up on the screen, and literally a guy just went, "Is that you?" And he wasn't trying to be an arsehole. And I was like, oh. Now I'm 57. I look kind of 57, and I'm absolutely fine with it. So for me moving forward, it's critical that I get things, you know, up to date. And so the filming is going to be important. I'm going to be up on stage. I'm going to be wearing some fancy shirts. So unless you didn't, you know, you may or may not know this about me, but I love fancy shirts. And these are what I wear when I'm working. It's part of my brand, and it's, you know, it's part of me. Although this is what Karen sent to me when she went to the fabric shop, which is absolutely awesome. The Spider-Man material is because she was making something for one of the grandkids who's a massive Spider-Man fan, and she goes, "What do you think about this?" I went, "I would love a shirt that just had pictures of dicks all over it. But you know what? Can't get away with it, so another time." But this is what I look like last April. So the thing is that this is, well, I mean, it's horrendous. It's a nice shirt and all the rest of it, but I mean, I just look terrible. So the fact is, I'm back on track, and you know, doing the conference, the keynote speech at the conference in 8 weeks is going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing, and the reason why I'm so pleased to book me is because I've been fiddling and fucking about a bit. Should I try this? Should I try that? I'll get back on eventually. And it's like, holy shit, I've only got 2 months. I need to get this thing moving, because I'm not going to look slim when it comes to Wembley. I'm going to be under 100 kilos, but that's still 220 pounds, which are 5'8", and I'm not naturally built, as you can tell from the bodybuilding competition. That's still 45 pounds over what I competed at, but I'll still be able to wear a good shirt and look pretty smart. And actually, because most of it comes off my tummy straight away, then, you know, I'm going to be all right. I will be all right. Plus, you know, the thing is that, you know, Wembley is what they call a SMART goal. So I don't know if you've ever studied SMART goals, but SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time related. And that's exactly what this is. Specifically, I'm going to lose, because I've already lost a little bit, I'm down to about 114 now. I'm going to lose 14 kilos in the next 8 weeks. So that's specific. Measurable, absolutely. I just get on the weighing scales every morning, and that motherfucker had better dropped every day, otherwise I'm going to smash him up. Is it achievable? Yeah, because I did it last year. I can lose half a pound a day. I've got, what's 8 sevens? 56. I can lose half a pound a day. That's 28 pounds. So yeah, I can get this down. Is it realistic? Yeah, because I did it last year, and I feel like I'm really back in the zone. And is it time related? Yeah, I've got 8 weeks and I need to do this. So the fact is that I'm gonna smash it. I'm gonna get that weight down. Now, I am the first 10 kilograms I already lost last year. That's the bit that hurts. Those 22 pounds, 20 odd pounds that I lost. So, you know, as you're losing it, it hurts. But, you know, to know that I can pick up the baton again is really, really important. And, you know, everything that I'm doing is just going back to basics. So, first thing is training. I tried all different kinds of training and over the last 12 months, because, and particularly actually when I came back from being ill, but this is the one that I'm going to be going for. So this is my training board in the gym. I've got a gym at home. I am also going to the public gym, but I am using the gym at home. And the way it works is it's a bro split. So I've got pull, which is back, traps, and biceps. I've got legs, which is hamstrings, quads, although it could be both, but yeah, it's mainly quads, and then calves. And then the last one is chest, shoulders, triceps. So it's a bro split, and then I have a day off. Then what I do is I split it up into 5 different phases. So the first one is I'll go through, say, doing the pull session, which is 3 body parts. I do 1 on each one, and I just go as heavy as I can. But now I do not go below 10 reps. The one thing that hurt me last year, I tried doing it where I was doing 4 or 5 reps just to really pummel the muscle, and I got sore and I couldn't pull it back. Next one, moving along, is super slow. And that is absolutely awful. I'm going to give you an example. So this is me doing triceps super slow. There's only 20 kilos on there, on a bar that probably only weighs about 5. So there might only be 25 kilos. It's really not very much. But what you have to do is go like mega slow. I mean, it's like 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds down if you can do it, and then the same going back up. So both concentric and eccentric, up and down, positive and negative, part of the rep are super slow. And you're looking and you're going, it can't be that hard. And at the moment, no, it isn't. I don't look like it's hard. You get about, I don't know, 7 or 8 reps in, and it starts to burn. And what it requires is 2 things. You've got to manage yourself through the whole rep at multiple points, which normally you don't do. When you're doing super slow, normally what I do is when I'm doing a normal rep, is I'll just go down and up, really steel myself, just go up and down, pause for like a fraction of a second, and then go back up. You can't do that at super slow. Before ready, rest pause they call it. So what you do is you do as many as you can, and then you do a pause, 4 seconds, 5 seconds for me. If Karen's doing it, she can do it in 2 seconds or less. And then you go again, do as many as you can, probably 1 or 2. And the last one is tempo, where you just go at an even pace for a minimum of 30 reps. The German flag on the end, that is GVT, German volume training. So it's 10 reps, 10 sets, 1 minute maximum gap in between. And that's going to be my training. In terms of diet, well, it's interesting in the school community because we've had many, many conversations about diet. And I've always found that low fat and relatively low carb together. So it works well. So let me go back. High protein, medium carb, low fat. And I've always found it's worked for me. So during the day, what I do is I'll train in the morning, always train first thing, 6 o'clock, get up, get it done, couple of hours. And then I have my breakfast. I'll have egg whites and veg and ketchup for breakfast. Then that's at 9 o'clock. 12 o'clock is protein shake. And then 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll have cottage cheese and half a tin of pineapple. And then for tea, what we're doing is we're using Gusto, which is like a meal prep service. So they don't bring the meals already done. They bring the ingredients. And we like it because we just don't end up with too much food. There's only 2 of us in the house, and all that comes through the door is exactly what we need. Karen cooks it, and it's great. And they all the sheets have got exactly the number of calories and how much fat is in it, protein, carbs, etc. But the great thing about having a diet as tight as that for me is that by the time it gets to 6 o'clock in 10 minutes, when I'm going to go down and have my tea, is I've only had 1,000 calories all day. I've had 3 meals, 1,000 calories. I've had 150 grams of protein though. So again, one of those things that we discussed, to a great extent in the school group has been how much protein should you have, and they reckon that is 1 gram per pound, and that's always been the standard. But then when people have gone back and looked at it, what they found is it's 0.8 grams per pound. But because people are fucking idiots, they can't work it out. What they do is they go, well, we'll just round it up to a pound, a gram per pound. So the thing is that, I mean, even weighing what I do, I know how much muscle I've got, and it's a reasonable amount, but it's not. It isn't that much underneath. So if I have 150 grams of protein in 3 meals during the day, it doesn't really matter what I have for my tea. If there's only 20 grams of protein, it doesn't matter. But the thing is that Karen and I get the chance to sit down and have a meal that we both enjoy. So during the day, she eats what she eats, I eat what I eat. I don't want to just sit down and say to her, we've got to have fish and rice. I mean, or chicken and rice or whatever. I want us to sit down and have a nice meal. And that has been very, very useful. CV, the good old cardiovascular. We've got a nice machine. We spent a good bit of money on that thing, and because we wanted something that was going to be reliable and not injure us, because I didn't want it sticking and hurting myself. But I know that CV is absolutely critical. It burns the fat off me, and as I start getting nearer to Wembley, if I want to, I'll just do 2 lots of CV a day. And that will just bring my weight down very quickly. Will I lose muscle? Yeah, of course I will. If I'm going to be losing more than half a pound a day, it will definitely be muscle lost in there as well. But at the same time, I'm happy to lose a bit of muscle just to get myself as lean as possible as I can. Because the 20th of April, I'm going to stand on stage and I need to look the very best I can. I will definitely hit 99 kilos. So moving forward, it's going to be tricky because I've still got all that stuff going around in my head about how I was really successful last year, and then I just fucked it all up in the space of like 4 weeks. 4 weeks and I put on 20 pounds. I mean, that takes a bit of doing, doesn't it? So, I know I'm going to hit the target in 8 weeks. And then once I get myself under that magic 100 kilograms, which is 220 pounds, it'll be like, right, where's the next chunk going to come from? And I will be down, 50 pounds from my initial weight, which is 270. And so I'm just going to keep monitoring it, see what happens. And I think I will get into a flow state where then after April, for the rest of the year, then I will see myself lose the rest of the weight. Because once I really start seeing the muscles come through, that will be really exciting. And even before at 104 kilos, at which is what, 210, 230 pounds. I mean, my muscles, my forearm started, coming through, biceps started looking a bit leaner. And so once I'm under 100, it's going to be great. But I'm not going to make any grand claims. I did that last year and I feel a real fool for doing it. But I will come on here and do a live every time I lose £10. So, and I'll share that with you. And I hope nobody's come on for the live, mainly because I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. I said I was going to do it 3 times last week, and then I didn't for personal reasons. So I am, but I promise I will do them, and then you can go back and watch them. And 95% of the people who watch these end up watching them after the fact anyway. But that's an update from now, and I will keep coming back and sharing it with you in the future.